What is going on, everybody? So I'm on my way to jobs today, but I really wanted to talk about smaller aquariums, so stuff that's like 30 gallons and below. So Nanos and Pico style aquariums. I want to talk about, can you with a smaller aquarium have all the type of coral that you want? Meaning, can you have SPS, can you have LPS, can you have softies, can you do it all? Our smaller tanks are really harder to take care of. So you guys are gonna come along with me today on a ride, and we're gonna go to a couple customers' house that have smaller tanks, and we're gonna see how successful these tanks are, what they have in them, and what you'll need to be successful in order to have the tank that you want and that's manageable. All right, let's go. All right, so here is a little, I'd almost call this a Pico tank, really small tank. And this is probably your more affordable option here. And it's straight up simple. We got one clownfish in here. We have a rock flower anemone, which is actually really pretty. Another rock flower over there. We have some Paleogranus up top, some Kenya tree, and the tank's a little bit cloudy because I just kind of cleaned off the glass a bit. But yeah, this is a tank that you probably would find somewhere on like Amazon or something. But it's a Pico style tank. It's probably maybe like 2.5 gallons at the very most. These tanks, they have a little return pump section right here, pretty basic. Which is cool is you have a little compartment here if you want to put biomedia. So, you know, if you want to put carbon, GFO, or any type of like bio balls or anything like that, or biomedia, that's a great spot for it. And then we have in this area right here, some filter floss, and you can see how well that's working. There's a bunch of gunk in there. And then the light here, I think it's just a little night crew light. The problem with this light is it's very hot. Like I touch that, it like burns me. So you get what you pay for, and it's growing the corals just fine, but I like a fan. I like a light with a fan, and I don't think this one has one. And if it does, it's not, it might have broke because it's like, it'll burn you if it touches you. So that concerns me. But yeah, so here's an example of this more affordable option of a Pico tank. I don't think you could do anything other than to softies and maybe an anemone in here. But with a clownfish tank like this, like if this is a desktop tank or in a kid's room, it's fine. It also doesn't have an ATO, but you can always pick one of those up. A tank this small, you definitely want to have an ATO. All right, so this tank is actually in the same with the same customer. This is another Nano tank that they have. This is one of the tanks you would see most likely at like a major pet store, like a Petco or pet supermarket. Like the Fluvals, it's pretty similar to that, and not bad. This tank's actually been up for a long time. I think 8+ years. She's had this aquarium at least. But yeah, same setup. Basically, got a little top here. We got a little overflow with a little sponge return section. Not as much room for media in this tank, but the coralline algae in this tank is going nuts. It's a really well-established aquarium. It doesn't have a lot of coral in here, but you can still get away with softies and some probably some anemones also. Now here's a 20-gallon Innovative Marine that is at our shop. This is one of our little display tanks, and this is what you talk about when you really want to do like a nano tank well. This is a mixed reef, a true mixed reef. We have LPS, SPS, softies. We have everything in this tank. We even have anemones in here as well. So high-end corals, all that stuff. So this is kind of more on the more difficult level of a nano aquarium. It's not easy to do this, and the only way to really get these results, you can see on the acro the polyp extension on there. All these corals have great polyp extension, and like the monoporocytosis, you can see the polyps. But the only way really to get results like this is, you know, you got to have a lot good lighting and a lot of it. These are two aqualumination, the Hydra 32s, I believe. But let's take a look at the Innovative Marine as a tank as a whole. What I like about it is you have the little overflow section there, and then to the side there you have a place for media. The middle area you can put an ATO, an automatic top off, and your return pumps there. And what's cool about the return pump is, and then there's an overflow on this side with another media area. So you can do like biomedia, and I think it comes with a protein skimmer too. So you have two areas where you can do that. The middle is usually where I like to put the ATO, and it also has the return that pumps out two different ways. So you're not just getting that one line of return, you're getting it pumped out in multiple areas of the aquarium. And the return pump, you can see from the surface agitation, is pretty good. And they have attachments where you can have like a straight nozzle or one that kind of turns to redirect the flow in crazy ways. Now this is an Icecap 10-gallon aquarium. And these are pretty new to the market, and they're a pretty simple setup. You have your little return section there, one return nozzle as opposed to two like the Innovative Marine.
but you can always add a power head. And then you have your filter sock in the middle area where you can do a protein skimmer or biomedia, which I prefer the biomedia as opposed to the protein skimmer. But I really like the look of this tank. Here is a Innovative Marine 30-gallon tank. It's a little bit longer, less tall, but again, Innovative Marine has all the gadgets here. It's got a little area for biomedia or a protein skimmer. It's got the little cart where you can put multiple different types of media. It's got the return that connects to 2 return lines, so you don't have just one return. And some people like that wider look. I think it's pretty cool. It's a different look. Innovative Marine doesn't make their tanks as tall. They're more long. And this is a 20-gallon Icecap. Basically the same setup as a 10-gallon.
All right, so this tank is mine. This is my little 20-gallon saltwater macroalgae aquarium, but it is a freshwater setup, so I have a lid right here to keep evaporation because I really can't stand evaporation, and I have a little hang on the back filter, very simple. I have a little night crew light, and it's been doing okay. It's doing what it needs to do. In this aquarium though, I have macroalgae, which is the main reason why I did the tank. I wanted a more natural looking aquarium. And I have a couple little small fish, some ascobies, a couple other fish are scattered, some tremagobies and things like that scattered throughout here. This tank is able to grow with this cheaper light, this night crew light, is able to grow, you know, very basic corals like this leather coral right here, this cabbage coral right here, which is really, really big. And Kenya tree. We got another cabbage coral here, which was actually lost in the macroalgae. I had to take it out and move it so it get a little bit more light. Rock flowers seem to do okay under this light, but they're definitely not taking off. Now, there's some pallies right there. Oh, and check this out. The star polyp is growing all on the glass and starting to grow on the rock now, which is pretty cool. I do have to do a service on this tank, but honestly, guys, like I do so many fish tanks, clean so many fish tanks a day. The last thing I want to do when I get home is clean another one. But I know I have to. I'll probably do a monthly cleaning here, a deep clean. And I also have to get rid of this Aptasia. I have a ton of Aptasia. I've kind of let it get out of control. You can see my nutrients are up. I'm starting to get a little bit of algae here just because I've been kind of just letting this tank just, it's wild. I don't really care what it looks like. It's not a show tank. It's my personal, it's in my bedroom. It's my personal tank to look at. I don't really care about any of that. I kind of want to see what's gonna come out of this. I got some sponge growing over there. I got some really cool sponge, I think, growing over here. But little jawfish there. But yeah, with this one, I'm gonna do a deep cleaning with it, and also I'm thinking I'm gonna do a whole revamp with this tank. I don't know, but definitely got to get rid of this Aptasia. So I'm gonna grab some Bergias from the shop, put a couple of Bergias in here, and let them go to town, and put a little sponge on that intake there, and then maybe we can get some Bergias to breed in here. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about that. Is that a good idea? Maybe we should try to breed some Bergias. I don't think any of these fish would eat the Bergias. But that'd be pretty cool. Maybe that's what we do. Might as well put this Aptasia to use because it is everywhere in this tank. Do want to add more coral, but I'm not adding any more coral until I get rid of the Aptasia. Then here's my fat boy. His name is Vagar. I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones lately. But that's the name I'm going to go with, is Vagar, the dragon from Game of Thrones. And this tank right here, another 10-gallon aquarium with a hang on the back filter, a little Kessel light. Growing some pallies in here, got some star polyp growing on the sand and growing on the rock. I actually just tore this tank apart. This rockscape was a much different, but I tore the tank apart. You can see there's some stuff kind of floating around. Some corals got dislodged. I think even the anemone's hiding back there in the corner somewhere. The reason why this tank is torn apart and is looking like it is struggling is because Vagar, our fat boy here, is going to a new tank, is going to a new aquarium. I'm really happy about that. He's getting big, he's eating like a champ, and I just wanted to give him a little bit bigger aquarium. So we're gonna go from a 10-gallon to a 20-gallon tank for him, just because, you know, I got him kind of see how I'd like him. I really like this anglerfish. He's a lot of fun. My son loves him. Everybody loves him who comes and sees him. But this little tank isn't gonna do. And if we're gonna have an anglerfish, let's make his tank look dope. So I got this tank. I got a little Icecap tank downstairs in my kitchen area, and it's almost done cycling. It's been up for about a week now, but this will be his new home right here, and we are going to just load this thing up with some LPS corals. I'm thinking all LPS corals are lower light corals, things like that, and possibly some SPS maybe up top or something like that. But yeah, this tank, I just got to do an ammonia test, but I think it's there. I think we're ready to go, and this will be Vagar's new home. Underneath here, the stands, I got all my stuff ready to go. I got to get an ATO though. I still got to epoxy some of the rock and glue up some of the rock. Got my light almost ready to go. A little AI prime's gonna run on here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna run 1 or 2 AI prime. I'm not sure if I'm gonna run 1 or 2 AI primes on this tank. I'm thinking about 2. If we're gonna do SPS, I think I'm gonna go full power with 2 lights just to make sure there's no shading. If we're gonna do just LPS, 1 AI prime will be enough to take care of that. But I'll get more depth in this tank later, kind of like what I'm going for here. His name is Vagar. I've been watching a lot of Game of Thrones, so I wanted to make something like a little cave system for him, and little areas for him to climb up and hang out on, so we can enjoy him. But I want to put a lot of really cool corals in here, so I'm excited about this tank. But this is the Icecap tank, and it's got pretty good flow, even though it's got 1 return nozzle. The return pump has an option to go fast or slow. I got it on its highest speed, and I'm also going to be adding another power head in here to make sure we maximize the flow in this tank. But I really do like these Icecap aquariums. All right, so we're going to leave it there. Now, I just wanted to share those aquariums with you guys because a lot of people, want reef tanks, but they don't have the room for, a really big aquarium. You can still have a really cool saltwater experience with a smaller tank. Now, if you're looking just to do anemones, soft corals, and things like that, you can get more affordable options. You don't have to get the best lighting, as we've seen in those tanks earlier today. My only thing with the smaller tanks, you want to be on that salinity. You want to make sure that you're either topping off every day or spending the money on an automatic top off. Now, if you want the full mixed reef experience, it is tricky. It's hard to do with a smaller tank, but it's possible. We've seen with that 20-gallon innovative marine, it's definitely possible to do, but you're gonna have to spend a little bit more money getting good lighting. Make sure you have your automatic top off, and that you're really good about your tank husbandry and testing. But it's definitely doable. All right, guys, so I got a lot more small tanks in my route, which I'll share in later videos. We'll do a whole nano tank special, and we'll go over everything, get more depth. But right now, this was on my route today, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, please put it down below. Appreciate you guys. See you on the next one.